Astrology. This is the birth chart for Billie Eilish, and she is an Aries rising. I personally don't see Aries rising too often. I think out of all the charts I've done on here, the only other one was Cardi B, maybe. So the ruler of her chart is Mars, and it's in Pisces, and she's a singer, songwriter, and the ruler there being in Pisces. So if you're new to astrology, you can see, you think, well, she's got to have some Pisces, and her sun is in Sagittarius, her moon is in Aquarius, and her rising is Aries. So no Pisces. But if we look at the ruler of her rising, which is very important, so the chart ruler, it's Mars and it's in Pisces, and that moon is also making a conjunction to Neptune, the ruler of Pisces, and the sun in Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, which is the co-ruler of Pisces. So we can look some more into that. She was, a couple of facts about her that I discovered from Wikipedia. She suffered from depression. She was diagnosed with Tourette's syndrome. So we see that there with the Mars in the 12th and possibly the moon conjunct Neptune in Aquarius. Also with the moon conjunct Uranus in Aquarius. So you see a lot of Aquarius and Uranus aspects in a chart, you could think of things like mental health issues or Tourette's syndrome, something in the life that will occur or could occur that has to do with trauma and mental health in general. Speaking of that as well, the depression, she also has Mercury conjunct the Midheaven in Capricorn. So oftentimes people that have depression, and I don't know that she was diagnosed with serious depression, like maybe it was just sadness or going through a phase, but oftentimes with Capricorn, Mercury, or Capricorn in general, especially with Mercury being there on the MC, you can experience some sadness, depression, not feeling, just not feeling excited about life. But with that Mercury there in the 10th in the Midheaven, she's definitely a thinker. You can see all the work that she's done with her music, and you think of songwriting and the activism that she's done, speaking out. She's very much someone who likes to speak out. We see that with that Mercury there. And some of her music, I'm thinking of some of the songs, some of the song titles are very out there, like with this Sun in Sagittarius in the 9th, Venus in Sagittarius in the 9th, Pluto in the 9th. So we have this stellium here in the 9th in Sagittarius. And her Jupiter's down there in Cancer, which it's exalted in Cancer. And the Jupiter is also making an aspect to the moon. So what does all that mean? Well, she's definitely, I think one of the songs was like, "Where do we go when we go to sleep?" That's totally superconscious mind, 9th house, and we think even Mars and Pisces, and this is often with a lot of song singers and pop singers and R&B singers, that they're talking about very ethereal things, and I think she clearly has the chart for this with the 9th house stuff and Neptune. But often I think that people like her are singing to, they don't really understand what she's saying, and she's really just relating to their Neptune, to the dreamy aspect, the dreamy aspects of themselves. But they really don't understand, because if you talk to these people, it'd be like they would be into it, but they're not. They really don't know what it means. Where do we go when we dream? Like, they would just think that's a cool saying, and it's interesting. But we have this Sun and Venus is in the Leo decan of the last decan of Sagittarius, creativity, performance, art, and children. She's very much childlike. She wears She said she likes to wear baggy clothes, and we could see that more with like the rebelliousness with Aquarius. And this Aquarius moon and Neptune and Uranus is all in the 11th house because she has this Aries rising. Uh, so she has this like double emphasis on Aquarius and Sagittarius. We could think of the baggy clothes and the activism, social activism, as being 11th house. Um, Someone with Mars in the 12th. I mean, she might not, people might not think of it this way, but she's driven by these ideals with Mars in the 12th and Pisces. And simultaneously, when you're driven by ideals and you're living in idealistic worlds, you can often sabotage yourself. And I think if it hasn't happened already, she's definitely been disillusioned. Well, if it hasn't happened already, she will be disillusioned with some of her efforts. I think we all can relate to that if you're self aware at all, where you've fought for something. And I'm not saying everything that she stands for is wrong, but just give you an example that we've stood for something, and then later on we realized that there's a reason for it, or that it wasn't true, or um, it's just never, our ideals are never gonna, they're never going to come to fruition, and that would be that 12th house of kind of like being disillusioned or self-sabotaged, being disillusioned by her efforts, by her aggressive or assertive efforts. And we see Mars is also making a semi-sextile to that Neptune. Neptune is making a trine down here to Saturn. So we see like her work being on the third house cusp. In her mind, well, she is a singer, so we see she's a performer. We see Neptune, Saturn. But in her mind, it's more than that. It's more, we see Saturn is retrograde, pointing back to that Uranus and the 11th house, speaking out against injustice. Uh, with it right there on the third house cusp, that's what's on her mind. And that could be why her music is so impactful, because it's not just music, it's not just words. And we see the North Node in the third as well of communication and speaking out, and the ruler comes back to that Mercury in the 10th. So what she's known for as well, like, could be known for someone who's speaking out against injustices. She's her speaking out is representative of Mercury and Capricorn, her being a parental figure to many young people out there that look up to her. That you could see she was born in the Sagittarius, that Pluto and Sagittarius generation. Many people then during that generation will look up to her, and they'll feel the same way with Pluto and Sagittarius. Really having a different philosophy, really wanting to change the narrative of the collective during their time. So she's very much a figure to look up to for these people. South Node in Sagittarius, 27 degrees, conjunct the Sun. We see there's some North Node contacts, but there is a strong South Node emphasis, even more so with the Sun directly on the South Node. And you can see she's successful. She's made money. She's has a career of some sort, and she's got planets on the South Node. So there may be that feeling of being stuck, but you could also see that with the South Node energy there, just in general, kind of lends towards that rebellious energy where you're challenging the status quo, things of that nature. So can't always look at the South Node as being a bad thing. It just might look different from a North Node. Like, let's say she had North Node emphasis, you might think of her as being a pop star that doesn't really have anything to say as far as challenging the status quo. Or if they do, it's in a playful manner, but it's not to the degree that she's taken it, where she's actually maybe actively spoken out at events, specifically held events for social activism, not so much for just the music. The music is backing the social activism. So I'm going to leave it there for now. That's Billie Eilish. I hope you enjoyed this mini reading. And check out my channel. I have many other readings on there. I also do astrology readings myself. You You can contact me at my email there that is linked on my YouTube. Have a great day.